Hey there, hello, how are you doing? Good to see you, and welcome to Beatles Brad's channel. What a happy, fun day it is, isn't it? Well, today I've got an exciting video that I really am looking forward to showing you some of the cool stuff. Back in the late 70s and throughout the 80s, we had VHS videotapes, and that was pretty much the only media that we had at that time. This is way before DVD and Blu-ray, and all of you that are younger, boy, you guys have lucked out in having all of this higher technology, better stuff. But years ago, back in 1978, there was such a thing called Laserdisc. And Laserdiscs came from Japan, basically started there, and they didn't come really to America till probably the early 80s, pretty much. But they were supposed to be a competition kind of between VHS, which was the video format, and then we had Laserdisc, which was a much better quality. But Laserdiscs were for the wealthy. They weren't for all of us that bought VHS, or even you had Beta. I meant to mention Beta. Beta was also real big through the 80s as well. But Laserdisc was something that was just for only the wealthy. And I remember we had in the mall a Laserdisc store, which was pretty crazy. But I wanted to share with you some of the Laserdiscs that I've got now. And I've purchased these much later. And I do still have a Laserdisc player. But these are really quite cool. And So I'll show you. This is the Beatles, and this is the complete Beatles. Unlike anything else that's complete, this is the complete Beatles. And in its day, this was the anthology. Before the anthology came out, Complete Beatles was where it's at, man. This was the one to have. And I'm not going to go through every single Laserdisc because they're pretty repetitive, and they, pretty much will show you the same thing. So I'm just going to shoot through some of the ones I've got. But this is side one, and you get a nice view of my room around. See, yeah, all kinds of stuff, Beatles. And there's side two. You had to flip these over. Unlike with DVD, you don't have to flip them over, but with these you had to flip over. My brother had a Laserdisc player that was more advanced, and it electronically flipped it over for you, that was really high tech back in the 80s. I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. But the other cool thing is you could touch these all you want, and people go, oh, don't touch them, you'll mess them up, you leave fingerprints, and you'll acetate them like you do with records. You're not touching the records. With these, you could touch them all you want, and all you had to do is just wash them off and then take a towel and wipe them down, and they're good to go. These did not tarnish, and these did not mess up by touching them. I mean, they were very durable, but they were twice as expensive as VHS, or maybe 3 times as expensive. So I'm going to go through some of the ones I've got, and I've got a fair amount of them. So, Concert for Bangladesh with George Harrison, and Ravi Shankar, Badfinger, Ringo Starr, just a lot of people on this. So this is really a great one. Kind of neat. This is a good one. Then we've got John Lennon, Imagine. Well, it's kind of like the Imagine John Lennon. Here, I'll just show you the back of this one. Kind of be jumping around on different ones, so kind of stay with me on this. This will be kind of fun. And here's the Laserdisc on this one. And majority of these were all two-sided discs. Once in a while, you'll run across one that was just a one-sided disc, but for the most part, they were all two-sided. And the picture quality was great at that time. They really pushed the fact that stereo was just coming in. Yeah, can you imagine that? VHS videotape stereo. Oh my gosh. Here is a Beatles Hard Day's Night, and this is still sealed. I haven't opened this one because I sort of like, what's the point, really? You know, I got the Blu-ray and the black and white and the green and the purple and all the kind of different Hard Days Nights that's out there. So I just kept this sealed, and it's still in the plastic wrap. The John Lennon one I just showed you, I forgot to show you that, also was in the original plastic wrap. George Harrison. This was a film that George did, and, well, he's not in it, but he produced it. Time Bandits. And there we go, there's a little bit more picture of Time Bandits. And this is a great movie, and this is still in the original shrink wrap as well. Still on Laserdiscs. And that's a great one. If you haven't seen Time Bandits, I think you would enjoy it. And it is on DVD and other kind of stuff like that. And then this next one is Paul McCartney, and this is from Japan. Has the obi. And there's the song listings on this. This is actually a really, really good one. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is an excellent one. This kind of came out on VHS. If I can get the glare out. Kind of came out on VHS and then kind of disappeared after that. Let me know down below, but I think this came out on DVD. Might have been under a different title or something like that, but it was a bunch of his promo videos and stuff like that. But it was really good. But even though this is from Japan, it does play on the American Laserdisc players. And I still have a Laserdisc player, and yes, I do play them. This is still the original shrink wrap. This one's quite rare. It has the obi on this one as well. There's the inside. Hey, you reading all that? Getting all that information? That's the back sheet. And there's... See, I never got rid of my Laserdiscs. For some reason, see, they're the same size as record jackets. So it was kind of nice. You could store these when I didn't have that much vinyl. You could store these in with your records, and it didn't take any space or anything like that. So when this format disappeared, so did all the discs, and, they all kind of got thrown out. They all end up like in the bargain bins and all that kind of stuff, and then they just slowly have disappeared. And here's a very nice copy of the Beatles' Help. And this is the deluxe version, which has a gatefold. But the nice thing about this one is it's a 2-disc, which was a big deal. And this one was really, really expensive at the time, because you got the movie Help, and then you got the movie Help, and then you got the outtakes and some footage that's never been seen before and that kind of thing. Now it's on DVD and it's no big deal. But back then, look at that. See, the price is very expensive. And that was years ago. And Laserdiscs ranged anywhere from $75 to $100 to $130 to $150 for just a disc. So, like I said, it was an expensive thing to have. So we go to expensive to give my regards to Broad Street. And look at the price of that one. That's what I paid for it. Or as I call this movie, give my regards to the Broad on the Street. But it's still a pretty decent film. It's not that bad. I think it's kind of held up as time's gone on. There's no paperwork or anything else in there. There's the disc itself. There isn't anything in here. But Laserdiscs slowly started drifting out, and they slowly started dying down. But the nice thing about Laserdisc was, I'll show you one more and I'll keep talking. This is actually a very hard one to get. This is still in the original shrink wrap. Paul McCartney and Liverpool Oratorio. And this is the Laserdisc film of that Liverpool Oratorio. There we go. The nice thing that let's see if there's any paperwork in this. This is a gatefold, but I'm not going to open it because it's still in the original shrink wrap. But I kind of want to keep it that way. But the neat thing about Laserdisc was, with VHS, wasn't so much of a problem like that. DVD and Blu-ray are great, but the sound levels change a lot. So if you're watching like a rock video, and the guy talks and he's, you know, chatting and stuff like that. And the next thing you know, they show a concert clip. It gets really loud, doesn't it? You know, if you got speakers like a home theater or just, you know, two little speakers for your DVD player, you'll notice the sound level changes. Well, with Laserdisc, it did not change. And that was the nice thing that I liked about Laserdisc was you could listen to it and the sound level stayed level. You know, you had your audio and then you had your video and the concert stuff and all that. And it didn't change. And that was great. But it's kind of a little crazy and frustrating when it does that. Paul McCartney live concert. This is very good. And yes, this has been released on DVD. And I do think it's on Blu-ray as well. This is really cool. This is actually a very nice one. Beatles in Japan, 1966. And I do not know why this has not been released on DVD. Yes, there's tons of bootlegs out on this, but they need to release this as a legit DVD. This really would be a fantastic concert. And this is being Japanese once again. Plays fine on my player. Excuse me. Ugh. Sorry about that. But yes, this is in color. The Beatles in 1966, and there's the song listings. And the Laserdisc itself. Very nice. And I've actually made a DVD copy of this. Yeah, I took my copy, played my Laserdisc, and then transferred it on to DVD. This one is a very hard one to get. This is Paul McCartney's Rock Show. And I saw this originally when this came out in 1980. Actually, I saw this in the movie theater. It was a midnight matinee to see Rock Show. Man, was that fantastic. And boy, was that the big rage at that time to go to the movie theater to see Rock Show. And it was a double feature movie. And it was late at night. It started at midnight, and they played Rock Show because, you know, back then, you know, people didn't really have cable. That wasn't really around just yet. It was almost coming. So Rock Show was the one, and then right after Rock Show, on the big screen, we got to see Let It Be. Yeah, which we're getting ready for Let It Be coming up. And that was exciting. But my thrills and fun of all of Let It Be was in the movie theater seeing it in 80. And that was just so cool. All right, this is my last one. Still in the original shrink and still has the hype sticker. Look at that. And this sucker's heavy. Ugh, it is really heavy. But see how big this is? And this has got all of the films in them. Films. Yeah, it shows how old I am. It shows all the discs. And here's the box to it when you take the discs out. And each one of these are really nice. You know, you may say, Beatle Brad, why would you even want Laserdisc nowadays? You know, I mean, yeah, you can watch them on your TV and all of that kind of stuff, but why would you even bother to have Laserdisc when you've got such a beautiful Blu-ray? Which I do. I love Blu-ray, and I think they're fantastic, and I really enjoy Blu-ray. There's nothing like it up until when they come up with something else. But the exciting fun thing about these Laserdiscs is you get almost like an album. You get very big and bold and beautiful artwork. All of these are really very nicely done, just like the albums. So, you know, and I mean, here we are, we're up to volume 5 on all of these, and there's a fair amount of these. There's number 6. And this has got a little bit of extra footage where the DVD didn't have it. It's got, I think, Free as a Bird and Real Love as well. Both of the videos are on, or the promo videos are on there. And then this was the last one, number 8, which, too bad it only had eight copies, you know, for this. Would have been nice if, like, they had number 9. Sorry. Would have been great if they did volume number 9 and had like outtakes. But for the first time, when they redid all of these, when they put these on disc for the anthology, they were all on Apple. So look at that. Isn't that cool? That was the only time. And I, comment down below. But I'm almost positive that when this came to Laserdisc for the Beatles anthology, this is the only one that came out on Apple. I don't think any of the other Laserdiscs followed. But they always had these real nice sheets, and they're all polyfill inside. I know this is fairly long. This is longer than most of my videos, and I'm just sorry about that. But I did have a lot to show you. And this is the inner paperwork. Both sides. But I just wanted to share a few minutes and have some fun. I was talking to my good friend Joe Mayo. Hey Joe, how's it going? And he's got Laserdiscs as well. And so he said, yeah, Beatle Brad, I'd love to see your Laserdisc. So surprise, this is for Joe and everybody else watching of just some of the Laserdiscs I've got. I've got a lot more. I've got movies, I've got rock, a lot of rock ones, Elvis, all kinds of different Laserdiscs of all kinds of different groups. And it's really kind of fun. And these are actually very collectible now. They really are. The Japanese ones can go for well over $100 online. And it's just crazy. And some of the other ones are a bargain, and some you can find for $5 and $10. And then other ones like are $20 and $50, but they're still a lot of fun to have. But anyway, I know this was a fast video, but I thank you very much. Comment down below. Did you ever have a Laserdisc player, or did your parents have a Laserdisc player, or a friend? So comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Did you enjoy seeing the Beatles and solo Beatles on Laserdisc? Give you something to think about, isn't it? Thinking that there's Laserdiscs out there too of Beatles. All right, vinyl community, music community, CD community, and Laserdisc community. Get everybody in. Blu-ray, DVD, 8-track. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Thank you so very much for stopping by, and I hope to see you on the next video. And as I say on my channel, I'm out of here. Take care, everybody. See ya.